In today's video, what I thought I'd do is pick out a few Casio watches that I've seen that I thought was quite interesting to highlight in Argos's mid-year sale that they tend to do. Now, they do tend to do a couple of Casio sales throughout the year, so one around this period of time in the year, and then one they do tend to do in October, November time, which tend to focus more on the more affordable watches in the Casio range. But this one, it's more not higher end, but it's a little bit more higher in terms of price, but there is some good discounts to be had and some good savings. So I thought I'd pick out about 5 watches that I have seen in the Argos mid-year sale. Now, there is one watch towards the end which I do feature in a few of the videos, and there's one video where I didn't feature it in the Argos sale, and I did get mentioned a lot in the comments, so I'm going to feature it again. So why don't we have a little look closer at the Argos website and see what they got going on in terms of the Casio watches I've picked out. Right then, the first watch that I picked out in the Argos sale is this Casio MRW 230H. Now, I picked it out because it's at a great price at $27.99, which means you're saving 20% off the what would be the recommended retail price of $34.99. But it is a step up from what was the MRW 200H, which I have featured a few times on the channel in terms of what would be a review. I've also worn it long term, and it's been a very comfortable watch to wear. Now, obviously this one's the numbered version of the watch, but you can get the MRW 200H in this style as well. But with this one from Argos, it's this style anyhow, which has got the dots where the indices are, but it's also got a very, very nice aluminium insert to the bezel, which just makes it step up in terms of the way it looks. It's also got the usual resin band, and the bezel does actually is bi-directional, and it's a friction bi-directional bezel. But the other thing about this watch is that it's 100 meters of water resistance. It's got a day and date complication as well to the 3 o'clock position, and it's got what they call neo bright hands, which means the actual lume on the hands does glow in darkness and semi-darkness, and it is just a really nice watch overall, and especially as this one's just a bit of a step up from that watch I'm showing you, which is the MRW 200H. But the 230H I think is a really nice watch overall. As I've mentioned, 100 meters of water resistance, 3-year battery life, the analog display. It's also got what would be the resin adjustable strap, which I've mentioned, also a lightweight watch at only 39 grams, and I think it's a really nice watch to look at. If the coloration or the Pepsi look, which is the red and the blue look, isn't for you, you can also get it from Argos at the same price of $27.99 in the all black version as well, with that aluminium insert. And again, when you do compare it to the MRW 200H, you can see it just seems to be a bit of a step up in the way it looks in terms of quality and the actual design to it as well. Even though it is pretty much the same watch, it is to me a bit of a step up in terms of the way the watch looks, and I would imagine the way the watch would wear on your wrist. The next one is the newer version of the iconic Casio Duro. Now, this one's the MDV 107, whereas the Duro with the Marlin, which I'm just showing you off to the right, is the MDV 106. Now, in the previous video where I was talking on the Amazon website, you can get the MDV 106 just under £50 because of the dollar value at the minute. But this one, you can easily walk into Argos and then pick up just a slightly newer design where the actual Marlin logo isn't there. And I've got to say, it is a great looking watch, and it is the MDV 106 is definitely one I'm looking forward to getting hold of, but the MDV 107 at this price point at this moment in time is a very tempting proposition altogether, especially where you save them 20% on Argos's normal retail price. And as it mentions, striking model with rotating bezel. It's quite a biggish watch in terms of the width, so you know, just under 47 millimeters in terms of width, lug to lug being what would be just under 50 millimeters. It's got 200 meters of water resistance, as you can see there, and it has the neo bright triple handset, so you get the red second hands there, and you get the hour and you get the minute hands there, and it's also got that very nice date complication at the 3 o'clock position, and it's an altogether great looking watch. It, as I've mentioned, it's got 200 meters of water resistant, 3-year battery life as well, and it is a super accurate watch as well. Now, the next one, and I have picked it out on a previous video, I think it was a H. Samuels one, or I'm just trying to think of Fraser's or H. Samuels. It tends to be one of them videos. This one again is at a good saving at $59.99, where you are saving 25% off the recommended retail price, and it is the Casio G-Shock GBD 800 UC. Now, it's in a great khaki green with what would be a green backgrounded negative display, which has a lot of information going on there. So obviously you've got your day of the week, you've got your time, you've also got the what would be the date and obviously the year, and also the fact that it is, as you can see from the symbol there, it is a Bluetooth watch, so it will connect to your smartphone. But also it's got things like the usual G-Shock, shock resistant, and it's also magnetic resistant, which is interesting. Water resistance up to 200 meters. It's got 5 daily alarms, stopwatch, countdown timer. I mean, I am just reading from there. And it also has, I believe, it's got the step tracker as well, which is built into the watch. So if you want to get an idea of how many steps you are completing on a daily basis, and you are looking for a nice big chunky G-Shock, which is a slightly different coloration to the usual black resin G-Shocks that you do or can tend to pick up from time to time, then I've got to be honest with you, this one looks a cracking watch to get hold of, and especially where you are saving that 25% on the recommended retail price of $59.99. I've got to say it is a great watch. Now, as I mentioned in the start of the video, I do have links to all these watches and I'm not affiliated with it, so please be aware of that. It is literally watches I picked out. And also just to mention about the Bluetooth connectivity, you can track your fitness as well, so it will talk to your mobile phone and the G-Shock app that you will need to download in terms of just seeing how your fitness is working out over time. Now, it is a bit of a bigger watch, so it's nearly 49 millimeters in terms of what would be the width of the case, and the bezel doesn't move or anything like that, but it does have a chronograph. It's got the usual backlight, alarm, stopwatch feature, and it also has a very handy 200 lap memory. So if you're into running and stuff like that, then obviously you can see how you're improving over time. And also, if you are communicating with people and loved ones around the world, it's got that very handy world time feature as well. So that's another watch I've picked out, and especially with that saving of 25%, I've got to say it's well worth considering. So the next watch I've picked out in this Argos sale is this Casio G-Shock GA2300, which is a great looking watch from Casio. Now, it is a bit polarizing in that you've got that X going on in the middle, so some people may find it a little bit confusing because there is a fair bit going on in terms of the actual styling of the watch, so it might not be the popular choice. But I've got to say, for the £15 that you are saving in this sale, it's a worthy contender of me just mentioning it to you. So with the GA2300, it's got world time, it's shock resistant as you would expect from the usual G-Shocks, it's got 3-year battery life, alarms, stopwatch, countdown timer, etc. And it is, obviously, being it a G-Shock, they do tend to be water resistant up to about 200 meters. I don't mind the styling really. I mean, obviously with the negative display on the digital part of the watch, some people who have deteriorating eyesight or their eyesight's not the best may find this watch a little bit harder to use. But for me, I don't mind it, and it is quite a distinctive design where you have got that X running through the dial background. But overall, it's not the widest of watches, at just a shade over 42 millimeters, and I think it's a very nice modern looking watch that should fit most wrists, and I would imagine it'd be quite comfortable because these G-Shocks of this sort of design do tend to have a nice comfort factor to them. And as I've mentioned, for that price point, that's why I've picked it out. I just thought it's a great watch, well worth considering. And my final one, and I do get comments when I don't mention this watch, is obviously what would be the Casio GWM 5610. Now, I've reviewed this watch in the past, and it is a great watch to wear on the wrist, and also it's a great watch to operate on a daily basis in terms of the watch go out and find the time, so you know this watch is super accurate. It's got solar, it's got, well, as you can read there, it's got tough solar built in, so in theory you shouldn't really have to change the battery for a very long time. And if you do put the watch in the drawer, it does tend to, well, all the display will go blank because it's got a power saving mode, so you can keep it in a watch box and not have to worry about the battery. But what I will say is, obviously, just get it out in the sunshine from time to time and you'll be all right. Now, the other thing I did notice when I reviewed this watch and enjoyed this watch when I was wearing it on my wrist, is that you can change what would be the orientation of the date. So you can have how we would read it in the UK, where you'd have the day of the month and then the month within year, whereas obviously this is more of a kind of an international standard where you got the month and then the day of the month. So it is handy for Casio to include that feature on this watch, and it's a comfortable watch to wear on the wrist. And I've got to say, you're saving 10%, or you are saving about £10 from the usual £100 that this watch is seen at on this website, and other websites have seen it a bit more, including the Amazon website does tend to be a bit more than that. But what I will say, if you are considering a watch this type, I mean, obviously it's got that multi-band that I talked about, where the watch goes out and finds the time for you, so you know it's accurate. It's got 200 meters of water resistance, alarm, stopwatch feature, world time and countdown timer. I would say if you're in the market for that, then you are saving £10, and it's a great saving overall. But what I will say is, if you can wait until October, November, because Argos do tend to do this watch. And don't quote me on that, because I don't know what they're going to do in the next couple of months in terms of their sale, or their autumn winter sale. They do tend to do it around the $79.99. And if you look at a previous Argos video I have done, you will probably see this watch featured at that price point. So if you can wait, then it might be worth doing so, because you may get it for $79.99. But if you can't, then at $89.99, it is a great watch to get hold of, to put on your wrist or place within your collection. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a few of the watches I've picked out, or Casio watches that I've picked out of Argos's current sale that they've got going on at the minute, which is like their mid-year sale. Now, the last one, obviously, I've mentioned it a few times with what Argos do tend to sell that watch for, which in the winter sale, autumn winter sale, they do tend to sell it for about $79.99. Now, if you can hold on till then and see if they're going to bring it out again at that price point, then please do so. It's a great watch for the money, whatever price, i.e. if it's at £80 or £90, and you are saving a little bit at this moment in time. But I'm only saying it because I do like to, my view is to save a little bit of money on the watches that they may be interested in. So there's some good watches there, and by all means click on the links below. They're non-affiliate. As I've mentioned, I'm not affiliated with Argos in any way, shape or form. So I hope this video was of some use to you, and if it was, then please click on that like button. It always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos from the We Try Anything channel, please click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.